Hello guys, it is Gative Theories here, and today we are back talking about the Disney movie Tangled. Now, probably the main feature of Tangled is of course the fact that Rapunzel has really long hair. That's how the character Rapunzel stands out from the rest of the fairy tale princesses, because of her ability to have extremely long hair. But the question is, how long is that hair actually? And if she does have such long hair, how can she carry it all? Well, today we're going to find out. But before we go any further, just make sure that you've clicked that red subscribe button down below and have your notifications turned on. So, before we start talking all about the magic flower and how on earth that affected Rapunzel's hair and how her hair has like magical powers and can make old people young again, before we start talking about all of that sort of magic stuff that's all basically just Disney, let's start to think about the reasons why Rapunzel would actually grow all this hair apart from the magic. Now, to find out this, what we're going to have to do is we're literally going to have to find out about hair. So the stages of growth in hair, and literally I had to go and research this, and yeah, didn't think I'd ever be researching about how hair grows, but you know, here we go. So, hair has different stages in growth. Now, we grow hair on almost all of our entire bodies, and the type of hair and where it is on your body can determine how long it is and how fast it grows. Every hair, any one time, can be going through one of three phases of growth. That's the anagen phase, the catagen phase, and a telogen phase. Now, the first phase is the anagen phase, where there's a rapid cell division at the base of the follicles. This bulb grows and grows and gets squeezed out of the follicle, where the cells die and produce keratin, which is a strong protein, and this strong strand of keratin pokes out of your skin and continues to grow throughout the whole anagen phase. Now, this growth phase can last various different lengths of time depending where it is on your face or body. The anagen phase for your hair in your head typically lasts 3 to 6 years, allowing for a maximum growth length of around 1 or 2 meters. Though in Rapunzel's case, she's clearly had some super producing anagen that just never stops because it is so long. For normal people who don't have magical hair, it is usually about 70 to 80% of any of your hair at any one time can be going through the anagen phase. Now, the second phase is the catagen phase, where the blood stops flowing to the follicle and cuts off the bulb from the rest of the hair. That follicle shrinks and eventually pushes that existing hair up to the surface of the skin, and the third phase, which is the telogen or resting phase, typically lasts 1 to 4 months. Now, the follicle at this point is dormant, and at the end of the day, the follicle expands and the hair is released, called shedding. And after the follicle widens again, we're back to the anagen phase, and the whole cycle repeats of the hair gradually moving up, coming out of the skin, then gradually coming back after it's been several years, back along to the anagen phase, where the cycle just keeps on repeating and repeating and repeating. Okay, so we've literally just discussed basically the life cycle of a hair. But now let's discuss what the animators have said about her hair, and they have said that her hair is around 70 feet long. Now, to show you what 70 feet is compared to in meters, 70 feet is 21.336 meters long. Like, that is really long, and it's 840 inches long. Like, 21 meters is around the length of a cricket pitch. The average man is 5 feet and 9 inches, so if you do 70 divided by 5.75, around 12 people. You could fit 12 average size middle-aged men and stack them on top of each other, and it would reach Rapunzel's hair. Like, 12 men stacked on top of each other, and then just once you've added that 12th man, you will finally reach the length of Rapunzel's hair. It is so long. But like I said before, the anagen phase for your hair on your head typically lasts 3 to 6 years, allowing for a maximum growth length of around 1 or 2 meters. Yep, 1 or 2 meters every 3 to 6 years. So let's say in some very rare case, every 6 years, Rapunzel grows 2 meters, so we'll keep it at the maximum rate possible. Rapunzel in Tangled is 18 years old, which nicely divides by 6. 3 times. So 2 meters times 3 is 6 meters. So if Rapunzel grew her hair at the maximum rate all the time up to where she is now, and this isn't including the other stages where the hair stops growing and falls out, it would mean she has only grown it to 6 meters, and yet her hair is around 21 meters. That's 15 meters longer than what it should have. Now, that flower is definitely magic, because getting your hair to grow that much in that small amount of time without losing any is just mad. And in the song, When Will My Life Begin, when she says the iconic line of,
Then I'll brush and brush and brush my hair, stuck in the same place I've always been.
and she's not lying when she keeps on repeating, I will brush and brush and brush my hair, because, well, no wonder she has to keep brushing her hair for ages, because it's 21 meters long. Now, before I said it would take 12 men stacked up on each other to actually reach the length of Rapunzel's hair. Bearing in mind, Rapunzel is an 18-year-old girl, and the average woman is around 5'4". So if you do 70 divided by 5.3333, it equals just over 13 women to stand up, stacked up, to finally reach the height of Rapunzel's hair. Like, it would take her forever to brush and wash her hair. I'm surprised it's not just dirty, because obviously that flower keeps it clean. You would have to brush that hair for hours upon hours, and it would take forever. But having long hair does have some problems with it, because if you have such long hair, bearing in mind in When Will My Life Begin, we see Rapunzel do loads of stuff with her hair, such as pick up stuff, help her with stuff, even carry herself. She uses a pulley system with her hair so that she can carry her own body weight, and literally putting all this much weight on her hair would probably kill her. Now we can work out how heavy Rapunzel's hair is by using a hair mass of about 300 grams per meters, giving a total weight of around 7 kilograms. That's about the weight of having 2 laptops hanging from your head, and the world record for weight ever lifted by hair is 81.5 kilograms. Now this was done by a Russian man named Abdul Rahman Abdul Azizov. And these weights are heavier than some adults, so it makes sense that Rapunzel has enough weight to even lift up her own body. However, the amount of weight you can carry on your head without hurting is a maximum 50 kilograms. So technically Rapunzel would be fine carrying this much weight, but she has to pull the hair along every day of her life. With time, it would begin to hurt and affect Rapunzel's head, so it wouldn't be good and it would become real life threatening. So it's no wonder that she likes to put her hair on planks of wood so that the wood can carry it. But either way, this would do some major damage to Rapunzel's head. So how on earth does Rapunzel cope with having such long hair, and how does it keep on growing and growing without stopping? And how does she cope with having to carry so much weight and weight? So let's look into what on earth the magic flower actually did to her. Now, the film explains why her hair is like it is because her mother ate a magical flower. And then the film sort of gives us the answer by telling us that the flower's main purpose is to heal. And that's exactly what it's been doing. If we go back to the 3 stages of hair growth, we said that the anagen phase, the first phase, is where the hair begins to grow, and it does so for about 3 to 6 years. However, when it reaches the catagen phase, the blood stops flowing to the follicle and cuts off the bulb from the rest of the hair, so that the follicle shrinks and eventually pushes the existing hair up to the surface of the skin. Now, because the flower heals things, it would mean the flower heals the bulb before it reaches the catagen phase, so it always stays on the anagen phase and never stops growing. Now, the flower would make sure that the blood never stops flowing, but it keeps going as it's healing the hair so that the hair can keep growing. So that is how Rapunzel's hair keeps on growing and growing, and we can see just how quickly it's growing by doing 70 feet, which is the length of the hair, divided by 18 years, her age, which is around 3.8 recurring feet every single year her hair grows. That is a lot, and this flower would also explain how on earth it helps with the weight, because before we said that having this much weight might do some major damage to your head. Well, the flower would just keep on healing her head and keep on healing it every single time when it starts to hurt, because that's what the flower does, it heals things. And no wonder that people can then be healed from touching Rapunzel's hair, because her hair is literally the thing that's being healed through it. So that is how Rapunzel seems to have such long hair. So guys, that is the end of the video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, then please make sure that you smash that like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Tell us in the field section down below what you think about the fact that Rapunzel has such long hair. Are you surprised that it's 21 meters long, or do you think that it's even longer or shorter? And do you think that, you know, her having to carry this much hair might, you know, hurt her head? And what do you think of the 3 stages of hair growth? Because honestly, I never thought I'd ever be learning about the life cycle of how hair grows, but you know, this is what I do for YouTube. So why don't you put all your thoughts down in the field section below. And as always, we've been here on Gated Theories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.